Hello, everyone. Welcome to the channel for everything Arsenal and everything football. Thanks for being here. I hope you're all doing well. And welcome to the match reaction and player ratings for Arsenal's 3-3 draw away to West Ham at the London Stadium. Now, in case anyone always says the international break, I don't like international football. We don't need the international break because of international football. We need it because of days like this. I'm so happy that we have an international break for the next 2 weeks because this is just too stressful. So we'll be going through the match reaction and then the player ratings at the end. Let me introduce AJ first. How are you?
I'm good, bro. I just really want the international break. I need 2 weeks break of this, man. I really do.
Yeah, maybe even 3 or 4 if just possible. Glen Express back again. He missed the Tottenham one. I'll ask him a few about that maybe. How are you?
Not good. Arteta out.
Could have been worse.
Could have been worse.
Ray? Yeah, the guest again, Ray, on another reaction. How are you?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me on. I'm hyped about what we're going to talk about today.
I don't know if it's going to be talking or arguing, but yeah. As usual, lineup reaction, then first half reaction. As I see Lingard on TV right now, I absolutely hate him. So let's start with the lineup reaction. I'll start with you, Ray. What did you make of today's lineup? Just for a minute. What did you make of the setup and the formation, the players who started?
I didn't actually think we'd go this strong, to be honest with you. I thought we'd rotate quite a bit more. Apart from Aubameyang, I was kind of happy with the lineup. And it's not because I have an agenda. It's just because I don't think Aubameyang out wide really works that well anymore. I feel he looks quite old out there. So personally, I probably would have gone Pepe on the left and Saka on the right. But overall, the lineup, I was content. I could see why we played Chambers because of the set pieces. To try and kind of block out the likes of Souček and Dawson with set pieces. Didn't really work that well, but start of the game, I was all right with the lineup. Yeah, I gave it about a 7.
Okay, so I'll tell you why I agree with what you said on Pepe. One reason why I don't know if everyone will mention it or anyone will mention it is because the last 3 times he's come up against Cresswell, he's ripped him apart. Last season he should have picked up a red card when he played against Pepe. So I was hoping Pepe starts, but Saka, I don't know. I think he was okay basically. Glen Express lineup.
I've kind of stopped criticizing the lineup because I'm just bored of it now. Whenever we say it's a bad lineup, they always do well, and whenever we say it's a good lineup, they do bad. But for me, the Chambers one I thought was a little bit not weird.
Yeah,
but,
shaky.
With Cedric on the bench, I was thinking, what is it? Maybe Cedric's a little bit ill, but I mean, again, Chambers wasn't bad. But I agree with Ray. Aubameyang, why is he on? What has he done to deserve another start, especially left wing? And the thing for me is, I don't know if you noticed, the first 20 minutes, Aubameyang was actually on the right and Saka was on the left, which I don't understand that because Saka's better on the right, Aubameyang's better on the left. So it's another one of those decisions where Arteta switches the positions for no real reason and it doesn't work. But yeah, the lineup was strong enough to beat West Ham and it didn't. So that's it's what you got to look at.
AJ lineup.
Yeah, I agree. I surprised me with Chambers. I expected Cedric to come in, maybe even Bellerin to keep his spot. And Aubameyang, I wanted him dropped. I didn't think he would start. Maybe I would have gone Martinelli or Pepe. I was screaming out for Martinelli the entire game. Only took 80 minutes. Like, come on. And even the first sub took 74 minutes. I think the first sub should have come after we went 3-0 down. I thought, just make a sub, just do something. Just react to it. That's all I wanted. And other than that, I think, that's what I expected to happen, to be honest. There weren't many shocks.
Yeah, so this is the first time, the last couple of weeks, this is the first time in 8 years Arsenal have a fully fit squad. And that's why you've seen the likes of Ketia being dropped to the under-23 team because there's literally no space in the first team at all. So that's Bellerin not in the squad. Willian not making the squad this time.
Yeah, I'm trying to take my own personal agenda away, but he's not been that bad, really, the last few games. I think he's actually got a couple of assists. Okay, it's just a simple pass and then the score would do the work. But I actually expected him to start this game. So when he didn't start the game, I was kind of surprised. But for the longevity of our team, he shouldn't really be playing, in my opinion. He's not the long term of Arsenal. But he's nowhere near been as worse as he was the previous 6 months. So yeah.
Okay, and I'm gonna express a surprise that Bellerin didn't even make the squad, or is he injured or something? Have you heard anything?
I don't care. I don't want him near the squad anyway. I mean, again, today, when you see Chambers play the way he did, Bellerin has no reason to be in the squad anymore. The guy wants to leave. He's openly said that. You don't want to play here anymore. Cedric's better than you. Chambers is better than you. You don't need to play anymore. So I'm hoping that it's the fact that he's just been dropped because he isn't good enough. But there is probably a reason why, maybe like an illness or a minor injury. But we don't know, do we really? I mean, it's Arteta's love child, so we'll just have to see him play more and more, I guess.
And AJ, final one on Willian.
Willian, yeah, I mean, I think there was like a tight calf, wasn't there? Yeah, tight calf.
Yeah, there was
and that's why he didn't make it. And then, I'm not that bothered because we've got so many good wingers in Martinelli, Pepe, Saka. I didn't expect Saka to be risked today as well. That's another shock. You know, I thought Saka maybe could have got benched because he's going to be playing such a big part for England, whether that's right wing or left back.
Yeah, probably all three games as well.
Exactly. So that was a surprise for me.
Okay, so that was the lineup for me. As I said, Pepe. And what Gonna Express said about doesn't really matter these days, or doesn't really care which kind of lineup goes. What did you say? Just repeat what you said on the lineup. It doesn't really matter.
I've stopped caring because every time I criticize it, they always perform well, and every time I praise it, they always play badly. So I don't say anything on it. I just let it play out.
So I mean, the one
thing I will say is this lineup was strong enough to beat West Ham today, and it didn't. So my question is, why didn't it? It's not why didn't this person start or this person start. It's why didn't that lineup win? But we'll get into that.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same position, but differently, because these days I usually don't mind who's playing between Gabriel and Mari because I feel like they're both been doing good. I don't mind who plays between Cedric and now clearly Chambers, or Smith Rowe, Odegaard, for example. I don't really mind who plays. They're all doing very well. A few players who are not doing well, we'll find out in the reaction. So let's start with you, Ray. What is your prediction before the game or after you saw the lineups?
1-1. Yeah, I didn't actually think it would be an exciting game. I was like, it'll be a 1-1 drab. But I predicted a draw. Yeah, I was actually very confident of a draw, actually, because I didn't think West Ham would come out at us.
Okay, AJ?
I predicted a 2-2 draw. I thought it was going to be exciting. I predicted exactly what West Ham are going to do, try and press Arsenal down with all their fast players they've got, put them all into the same team, because if you press Arsenal, you're going to get the ball because of how Arsenal plays. So I expected an exciting game, and that's what we got.
I'd gone for a 3-2 myself, and I'm going to express
2-0. I think it should have been 2-0 as well. Again, West Ham are a good team, but there's certain players in that squad that you can easily get at, and we didn't. So I think again, I still believe we should have won, but yeah.
So since you said 2-0, I'll start with you. After those first 10 minutes, you're definitely not expecting them not to score, right? They would have scored like 4 goals in those first 10 minutes before they even scored.
I literally said about 1 minute before they actually got the goal that we've started slowly. And it's a classic Arsenal performance under Arteta, where we start slowly, we concede early, and then we just capitulate. It's exactly what happened. For me, the thing with Arteta now is he's so predictable. There's so many things about us as a team and him as a manager that are predictable, and that's one of them. If you're playing against Arsenal, so David Moyes is probably looking at that first 10 minutes and saying, they've started slowly, we need to get a goal here, and they got 3. So it's just predictable. The managers know how to beat Arteta. The ones that don't should look at themselves in the mirror and say, why did we not win today? Because it's so predictable. Arteta doesn't change his tactics at all. But yeah, I mean, again, slow start. For me, the worst thing was the passing. The passing was so poor. Even Tierney was passing poorly. So it's like 1 week we have the best passing in the league. Next week we're like the worst passing in the league. We're so inconsistent. But
I'll tell you the inconsistent part with Arsenal. One game we started very well, like Wolves. The next one, like Aston Villa, terrible. The next one against Tottenham, we start well. The next one, very terrible against Olympiacos. Like, it's all over the place. AJ, first 10 minutes, were you worried?
Yeah, definitely. We were under the cosh. They were attacking us. They were pressing us down. And I was like to myself, it's only a matter of time before they get something, and we'll capitulate. It was a spitting image of Aston Villa, literally. It was. And yeah, I was worried.
Okay, and
then
Ray,
Jesse Lingard happened.
Ray, first 10 minutes.
We're not really fast starters anyway, are we? We usually take a bit of time to start to get into the game.
Yeah.
But I was really surprised with how West Ham drove at us. I really was. I could see what HJ is saying, but I was still in shock how they just pedal to the metal. Extremely smart considering we just finished Europe. But after 10 minutes, all I was thinking is just hang on, 15 minutes, just keep it together. If we don't concede, confident we'll start to get ourselves in the game. But I got to give kudos to West Ham first. I mean, we were shocking, but West Ham probably made us shocking in a way as well.
Yeah, those first 10 minutes, you could literally see that one team is fighting for Champions League and the other one is 10th. You could see why those first 10 minutes, and that was even before he conceded the goal. So AJ, you mentioned Lingard. Oh my goodness, I knew it. The only surprise is that he didn't dance.
Yeah, exactly what I was gonna say. The only surprising thing was he wasn't gonna dance. Literally, that was it. I was just praying and hoping, do not make some dodgy dance up, please don't. But that was a brilliant finish. You can't take that away from him. That was a brilliant one into the top corner. And you're thinking, oh no, the second one's coming, the third one was coming. That's what I was thinking, because we looked so poor and so out of shape. It was mad.
Yeah, and then it's not just that he scores. He scores a brilliant goal as well, Guna Express, like a really, really good goal.
Yeah, but let's not forget the space we gave him. Like the amount of space he had in the D area where he was just able to flick the ball up, boot it. He had no problem. The guy could have whipped out a whiteboard pen, signed the ball, kicked it in the net, and ran off with the time and space he had. Seriously, it's just shocking defending. It really is, because we know Lingard's a dangerous player. Yeah, we all meme him saying he's a generational talent and all this, but he is a good player, especially for West Ham, and we give him the space and time to shoot. And that was always going to, again, and I've said this, we cause more problems for ourselves than teams actually do cause to us. We are our own downfall. And again, this goal especially, we just let it happen. We don't pressure him. We just let him shoot and he scores. So again, it's just another goal where I think we need to do better defensively, but apparently we've improved defensively, but I don't see it.
Ray, Lingard, I don't know if you have him in your fantasy Premier League team, but he always scores against us. So you probably should have him when he plays Arsenal.
Yeah, cheap plug. Yeah, cheap plug. Glenn knows that I'm all over like Twitter on fantasy Premier League. But no, I didn't pick him. But it's not complex what West Ham try and do, right? They give the ball to Antonio and they try and hold up the play and allow the late runs of people like Lingard or Benrahma or Bowen. But the big problem with Arsenal is we ball watch. When we defend, we don't look at the positioning of the players. So what Lingard did, I was in no shock what he did. First of all, he's a very talented player. He's a very good player. Great knockdown. I can't blame us for the knockdown because Antonio is very good in the air. But the fact that we had like 4 or 5 players around that knockdown and no one was even looking at the late run of Lingard was just embarrassing. Embarrassing. I don't care what manager you are. I don't care what team you are, whatever tactics you are. You know what Antonio is going to do. He's going to knock it down, look for the likes of him. If it was Souček, he'll knock it down, look for the likes of Lingard. It's not a complicated breed of football that West Ham play. So despite the fact it was a phenomenal finish, if we just did our job and stopped ball watching, we really could have cleared that second ball away. So great goal from a West Ham perspective, but from Arsenal defensively, shocking. And I agree with you, Express. We're one of the best defenses in the league. We're one of the best defenses in the league in regards to stats, but we're really not. We can see so many chances.
Stats can be so deceiving.
Yeah.
I
always use that as a booster when now we are arguing about it, saying it's out. But I always wonder how we are there, because some of our defenders are positioning wise.
That's the thing. We're slipping down every single week. We slip down that defensive record because we concede more and more goals. We've just conceded 3 today. So
it will be interesting to see where we finish at the end of the season in terms of defense, because if we finish like first or second, then that means the whole of the Premier League is absolutely terrible as well.
That's what it is. Yeah, that's actually You answered the question.
Yeah. So that was very, very terrible, like conceding that early. But you always think 1 goal, that's fine. Tottenham scored fast, we still came back. I think there's another Premier League team that scored fast, we came back. So you're always thinking, we could get a goal as well. But then, quick free kick. I want to start with you, AJ. Is it legal? By the way, I thought the referee was absolutely abysmal for both teams in some decisions. What did you make of the quick free kick? Legal? Illegal?
It was fine. It was just us. We switched off. We're trying to argue. It was like, what are we doing? Why are we switching off like that? Just defend. Get on with it. You know, it was given. It's not like he's going to turn around and do something else. Like, just get on with it. Defend.
Yeah.
And we just switched off completely. It was like Barcelona against Liverpool. Like, what were we doing? But Leno could have done a bit better. I don't think he was a howler of sorts. You know, even he switched off. It was like, he didn't even know what was going on. He thought, because our team switched off, he was like, maybe the game stopped or whatever, but it has to be blamed on everyone in that team. Every single one of them has to be blamed on, and suddenly they're 2-0 up and you're thinking this is Aston Villa all over again.
Yeah, that's definitely not the lineup that was playing today. I'm always so used to Bellerin being in the lineup anyway. So I'm gonna express how about you, the quick free kick.
Well, we all remember that classic moment, don't we? The corner taken quickly, Origi. We've got a new one, free kick taken quickly, Bowen. Like, come on, man. Again, but Bowen scored the goal, didn't he? So, but the thing for me is, Bowen, that hit was so poor. He's probably laughing at the fact that he scored that. Leno has to do better there. As I always protect Leno, right? And I always say he's this and that. But for me, recently, he's slowly slipping down my good books because he's making more and more mistakes recently. He is.
Yeah.
And this is just the worst one. It's a near post finish. You've got he's got the smallest amount of space to actually score there, and he has.
On his weaker foot, right?
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And the one thing for me is I blame Leno for the goal. But I also, like HJ said, is everybody. The only two players that can say I had no part in that goal were Odegaard and Luiz, because they were the only two players looking at the free kick. But both of them weren't in a position to actually do anything about it.
They were still ball watching, even though they were watching. They were still ball watching.
5 players. It was Partey, Xhaka, Tierney, Chambers. Why are you all going to the referee? One of you has to do it. The rest of you pay attention. And some people are going to complain saying, oh, it's an illegal free kick. Don't even say that, because we literally did the same thing on the other end of the pitch for the Craig Dawson own goal. So if theirs doesn't stand, ours doesn't either. But for me, it was just awful defending again, ball watching, no awareness, and Leno made a mistake.
Yeah, and that is just like mentality, like asleep. Mm-hmm. And literally it's been happening for the last 10 years straight. Like, players falling asleep. Like, literally, if our players stayed tuned in for 90 minutes and no mistakes, we would have been keeping clean. Now, the defensive record, Dre, would have been conceding 3 or 4 goals per season, because the number of times they switch off every single time. But I saw someone tweeting, you can't switch off if you're never switched on. So, Ray, do you think we are ever switched on in those first 30 minutes?
Brilliant. Good. Did you write that?
I wish I did.
That's absolutely brilliant.
I wish I did.
Oh my god.
So first of all, it was a completely legal kick because the ball didn't. It actually stopped rolling. So again, Lingard, intelligence. He approached the ball until it stopped rolling. He didn't just pace to it and kick it. He actually waited for the ball to hit a stable position and then pass it on. But then Bowen, I don't even think Bowen did that well to take the ball on, because he shifted it on his right rather than shifting it and bending it for the far corner. Shot in the near post, no power. Yeah. So if you're going to hit it near post, you need to absolutely thunderbolt it. Yeah. Your Boa Hasselbank like. But it was almost a P roller. And Leno, I mean,
it's awareness, isn't it? You can see that he wasn't looking at it. It was awareness again.
Madness.
And another thing as well, for me, one of the best goalkeepers ever is Peter Schmeichel. He seldomly used his hands. He'd use his feet. Yeah. And that was right there for Leno to use his feet, because he'll actually react quicker. And I must say, with Leno, he makes a lot of these errors. Yeah. His shot stopping is not as good as the other guys for me. And for me, the goalkeeper's shot stopping should be the first thing. And second, his decision making is poor. Yeah. Yep. So when we kept him, I was quite perplexed because he hadn't played for us for like 4 months. And then we sold the guy who's doing really well now, Martinez, who's been one of
the best shot stoppers currently in world football. If you actually look at not even just the statistics, but you look at the games that he plays, he's one of the best shot stoppers in world football. But,
well, let me finish. And decision making's on point. And your goalkeeper has to make the right decisions, because guess what? When they're making the right decisions and they're reliable, your defense starts to evolve and become confident and play better. Great example. Sorry, Glenn, if I'm going on. Great example
No
is look what happens when Adrian plays compared to Alisson. Before all their injuries, how many errors were Liverpool making in defence because they didn't trust the goalkeeper? And in Leno, he's got a lot of work to do for me. Terrible save. Absolutely. The whole back line was terrible. Tierney, I love the guy. His back was turned. It's an embarrassment. Yeah. Everyone can absolutely can put their hands up and say terrible error. But Leno, mate, you got to save that.
Yeah, so I'm going to change something that you said. I think in terms of shot stopping, Leno is very good. I think in the top 3 in the league, I think Dubravka and Dallo of Newcastle and Martinez and Leno, very good in shot stopping. But decision making, I don't think he's in the top 10 of that. And also overall, like in general, aerial balls, handling corners and all that, like kicking, I think that's why Alisson and Ederson are better goalkeepers by far. But shot stopping, probably in the top 3, like in terms of save one-on-ones and all that, it'll probably save you, but I don't know about decision making and all that. So AJ, let's go to the third goal. My goodness, it was not. Before we even go to the third goal, this Lingard guy, man, look at him, always scoring against us, like at every single club, always assisting, like him. And what you've mentioned, Ray, about him, like literally just passing that second goal, that free kick, he literally walked like from the middle of the pitch, just looking at the Arsenal defenders, like, okay, no one is moving, no one is looking at me, okay, let's take it. Like, it was like drama, comedic, like seriously. So third goal, AJ, cross goal. Antonio Soucek, I didn't even care who scored.
Yeah, like he was like shrugging his shoulders. Yeah, it's just Arsenal. Yeah, brilliant. It's like same with like Soucek and Kufal. They'll be going to Czech Republic and telling Slavia Praha players it's only Arsenal. You know, you can easily whack these lot. They're easy strolling the park. That would be that's what Kufal and Soucek will be saying. But seriously, I think Soucek got the goal for that but it was a brilliant header, I have to say, from Antonio. And what is David Luiz doing? He should be doing much better than that to get at least more of an impact on that. So you know, there's less power or something. Yeah. But yeah, it was again calamitous. You know, we're not defending Antonio. The cross comes in quite easily as well, a lot of space, and Soucek gets the goal in the end. But again, it's 3-0 up. You're thinking everyone's raging, screaming, ranting. You know what's going on here. But yeah, it was bleak.
So when that one went in, I started fearing the worst. Now I was like, like every time Arsenal concede a second, or I know these days we don't really get harmed, but every time a second goal or third goal goes in, I'm always thinking, oh no, Goodness Express, AJ, like what are we going to say to them? That really reminded me of the days back. Remember when you lost, I think 3-0 to Crystal Palace in Wenger's second last season when we were losing every single away game? I think 3-0 to Palace, 4 goals to Liverpool, I think 3-1 away to West Brom. Those kind of games, they would get hammered against any team. I remember 3-0 against Everton when Lukaku ripped up our left back when he was playing on the right side, such kind of games. This really reminded me of those days. It was starting to remind me of those days. But I tweeted at that time. You can go on Twitter and confirm the Twitter handle that's scrolling down the bottom. Go follow Ray, Guna Express, and AJ. Like, you can go confirm that I actually said, like, I still think we'll come back, but that is the most terrible 30 minutes I've seen under Arteta. But when they still had more chances, I was getting really, really worried. If the fourth goal went in, then we'd have been in trouble. But yeah, Guna Express, what did you make of that goal?
Well, that's the thing. If you actually look at my Twitter, you probably don't think this, but I knew we'd come back. I knew we would because it's written in the stars, isn't it, that we're going to get a 3-3 draw, and we're going to forget about it. But the third goal, I agree with HJ. David Luiz could have done better, but again, how are we letting Soucek and Antonio get in the position? Because it's just poor. It's just poor defending.
It was the first time as well.
I thought Mari was absolutely atrocious today alongside Luiz. I thought overall defensively we were bad, but I didn't even want to talk about the third goal, man, because I knew it. I knew we were just going to start poorly. I didn't think we'd start that poorly, but it's just Arteta, man, isn't it? We always like to start really poorly, and we're getting worse and worse every single week. People... Like everyone's been saying on Twitter, this is the worst half of football under Arteta. The guy's been here for over a year now. A year. So he has no excuse for why we were so poor now. But people are going to forget that. But it is what it is.
Okay, and AJ? I've already asked you about the third goal. Okay, I've already asked you about the third goal. So after that, we picked it up again. And
didn't ask me.
You got Ray.
Wait, I'm not finished. Hold on.
This boy, you know?
Let me tell you, it's absolutely not easy trying to get the comments and upload pictures and still ask questions at the same time, especially after such a There's a word. Tubby.
He-
How do you say
the-
it?
the-
Game? Like,
whoa,
An
the-
interesting game. An
The man
interesting
does.
game.
The
Yeah.
man does six. Wait. The man does 6 videos a day, and he's saying that he can't do all the banners and stuff.
yeah, you
though.
can't. You can't. Not after Arsenal drew 3-3
And he's a
West Ham.
relentless
So,
man.
so thank you for that. So, Ray, that goal. Definitely, you're fearing the worst. Okay, did you have hope when you were 2-0 behind?
Yeah, always hope. I'm going to be honest with you guys. If I wasn't coming on the show at 3-0, I think I would have just switched it off and gone for a walk or something like that, just to get the stress out of my mind. But at 2-0, sure, it just takes a chance, right? But at 3-0, I was like, ooh, I don't think it would be 5-6-0, but I could see it being 3-1. You know, West Ham would just sit back and stuff like that. I must say, Soufal's cross was brilliant, and Antonio's a really good target man.
Head of the
And it's hilarious because he was a midfielder, wasn't he? He was a midfielder for until 2 years ago.
As well.
He was a winger as well.
Yep. But he's turned into a super target man, and he had the run on David Luiz, and it was going wide as well. That was the annoying thing. It was going wide, and then Souček did very well to divert it in. But again, I think with that one, it's just we're all over the place at that point. That West Ham just putting balls in was just going to cause us issues the whole time. And when we went 3-0 down, I had like no complaints of the scoreline. I was like, yeah, they deserve to be 3 up. So
yeah,
tough,
and it's not the first time a striker or midfielders out jumped one of our defenders. We remember that day as well. Like it's happened several times, by the way, in the last 2 months, especially this.
Look at that unit. Look at that unit, mate. 5'4", Raheem Sterling.
That was terrible. So we picked it up. Otherwise, all of a sudden, and then we got a goal from nowhere. Good Express, Lacazette. It wasn't a Lacazette goal, as it's been told. It was Souček on goal. I thought it was a very good finish. The Chambers, what a cross for Chambers, and let me say what a finish before I knew it was a red card. Before I knew it was an own goal.
Again, proves my point. Bellerin's no longer needed. He can leave now, or he can just never play again. Because how many times has Bellerin whipped a ball in and nothing comes of it? Too many times. Chambers, first proper opportunity to actually whip a ball in straight into Lacazette's path. Great touch from Lacazette, by the way, to keep control of it. Great hit. And at first, I didn't actually realise Souček even touched it. I thought it was just a wonderful goal, but it was going wide until Souček did touch it. But I mean, you said, great touch. If only it didn't count as an own goal, it'd have been a great finish. But for me, the moral of that story is the Chambers cross. Literally, the first opportunity he gets, straight into the box, straight into Lacazette's path, and just a great. Well, it should have been a great goal, but it was a great assist to an own goal.
Yeah, very, very good assist from Chambers. Ray, did you think that was Chambers, or did you get some imaginations of Cafu and Maicon running down the right wing?
Yeah, no, man. Cafu grew some nice long locks, didn't he, man? Looked good.
Yeah.
Super Bowl. Controversial. I thought Lacazette's touch was slightly fortunate because when he first took the touch, it kind of bounced back towards him, but he did really well to lean his knee into it. It was almost 2 touches. But then the swivel and the shot was absolutely fantastic. It really was a shame, though. It really was a shame that, it got the deflection. But Lacazette, for me, my man of the match, spoiler, but I thought he did brilliantly to be in that position the whole time.
Yeah. So I know Good Express and AJ, every time we talk, you always say, every time you say we're going to win the Europa League or something, you always say, I wish that happens. I think AJ always answers me like that. I wish that happens. I'm hoping that happens for Arteta's sake. I wanted to out, but I hope good things happen. So not everyone is like you guys. On Twitter, when the third goal went in, I could say, let's get hammered 6 so that he can go. I was like, really now? Like, those tweets really disgust me sometimes. But yeah, we did manage to pick it up. And Saka had another chance. AJ, I'll skip you on the Chambers. I'll come to you on Chambers later. So on the Saka chance again, another missed chance for Arsenal as usual.
Yeah, he should be scoring that. He should be putting way more power on that and putting it into the corner. I don't know why he didn't do that. I was very confused. But that was such a tame effort, really tame effort. And, I think he really should have scored. I got really angry when he didn't score that, but you have to be putting them away. That's just the story of the last few weeks in terms of we have to be more clinical. We have to take our chances if we especially want to win the Europa League.
Yeah, and it's not the first time. That's the problem. Like every single week, they're missing chances. And if that went in, I actually think would have gone in 3-3 at halftime, probably, because that was right after the goal and still had like 10 minutes to go. I'm gonna express that chance how should you have taken it, or was it a good save?
Well, for me with Saka, and I'm going to say Partey as well, because he had a good couple of off-target shots again, like usual. My question is this: Saka and Partey are always in the position to get the shot off, but they both struggle to actually do anything with it. So my question to Arteta again and his coaching staff is this: we as fans can see that Partey is amazing at getting in positions to shoot. He just can't finish. And the same thing for Saka. Why aren't you working on that in the training ground? Because if they say they are, they're lying, because both Saka and Partey have not improved in their overall finishing. So I don't get it. What do they do in training? Because what my version of training is, see what they do on the pitch, what they do a lot of, but they aren't. Like, so example, Partey's finishing, gets in the position, but he can't finish. So work on the actual finishing, but they aren't. And again, I don't know why they aren't, because Partey, he scored quite a few goals for Atletico Madrid in those positions. Yet for some reason at Arsenal, he can't finish. So work on it. But they're obviously not, because they aren't getting better. In fact, his shots are getting worse. So I just want to question again. I want to question Arteta. Why aren't you working on those shots? And if he says he is, he's lying, because they're not working on the shots because they get worse. So, but yeah, again, Saka, if he could only if he had the finishing of Mason Greenwood, he'd have so many goals. Let's be honest. He'd have at least double figures right now. He'd be balling, but he just doesn't have the finishing. He has everything to his game but the finishing. And that will sometimes let you down. You know, you can have all this great stuff, but if you ain't finishing those chances, you could be losing the game.
I remember when you tagged me on the Aziz goal in the under-18s game. That's how Partey should score, should learn from Elneny how to shoot through the ball. Because if he was hitting the target, he would have been scoring every single game, because he gets a lot of space. I think defenders kind of just let him have the ball, maybe, because they think he wouldn't score. So yeah, that's the bad thing. I know like most of you like WWE as well. We'll have some WWE like quotations somewhere in the reaction. Ray, halftime, were you hoping for any changes?
We really had the momentum at the beginning, at the end of the first half. So I was kind of like, you know what, give it 10 minutes and see if we change anything, if we go for the throw. And we did. So at halftime, all I thought was give it 10 minutes, not 15 minutes, give it 10 minutes, same lineup, go after them like you did at the end of the first half. And that's what we did. So, yeah.
Okay, and then AJ, Lacazette has a chance right after halftime. It's cleared off the line. Was pulled back by if he went down, that would have been a free kick and probably a red card.
Red card, I'm not too sure about, but that was a really good chance, and that was good clearance off the line. But we were knocking on the door. Really good start to the second half. We were pushing, pressing. We should have got a goal in that time, but we did eventually. But it was a good start, I have to say, second half.
Yeah, I wasn't happy when with missing chances, because that would have been 4-3 already to us, and missing the chances, and then all of a sudden they'll score the fourth one, and then game over, and then it looks very, very bad. I'm going to express, we finally get the second goal. What did you make of it? No. West Ham gets the fifth goal of the day for them. What did you make of that, our second goal? Again,
a lot of pundits, a lot of commentators, a lot of fans have been saying it's a wonderful comeback. No, it isn't. It's a comeback where they got two own goals. Like, let's be honest. It isn't a good comeback. We played well, but they scored two own goals, especially that second one. Dawson, I don't know what he's doing. I know what he's doing, but why are you booting it over the crossbar? Just tap it away, or just tap it to Fabianski. But, I mean, we're lucky. We're really, really lucky, because imagine if Dawson didn't score the own goal. We end the game 3-2. We'll all be looking at Saka.
I think Aubameyang was behind him. I actually think Aubameyang would have scored.
No, but Dawson had. So what I'm saying is, Dawson, if the ball went over the bar, or if he boots it away and not like doesn't own goal, we'd have lost the game, because I didn't see us scoring another goal. So we're just, again, it's just pure luck. But at the end of the day, I don't believe in luck in football. I think Dawson was just a bit stupid to do that, really. But it ain't a comeback when it's two own goals. The game ended 3-3. We scored one goal. That kind of says everything, doesn't
it? You have to put the pressure on the. So I'll take you back to that Chambers cross, that one for the own goal. In the first half, after he had that assist, there's another chance he had to put the ball in. and then we got the corner. I was screaming, put the ball in, like smash it in, because it could hit someone and go in, instead of cutting it back the second time as well. I know the first time he cut it back, it worked for Lacazette, but the second one, just try and whip it, it could hit someone, and that's how it worked. To be fair to you, Gun Express, I think we had so many openings in that first 10 minutes. In the second half, could have scored even 6 in that first second half. So you have to put the pressure on. And then Ray, the subs came on. We made a sub, Pepe, and then we took off like the likes of Shaka. Was Shaka the first one to go off? I don't remember. What did you make of the first subs? Pepe coming on, and I think Smith Rowe.
Yeah, I think Saka was part of that, wasn't he? Bukayo Saka was part of
went off.
The couplet that went off. Yeah. About Saka, I think he still looks a little bit tired. You know, he's played a lot of games. I don't know. I just don't feel his energy's optimal like before. I really wanted. If anyone should have come off, it probably should have been Aubameyang, because I thought he had a shocker. But happy with Smith Rowe coming on. He's very good at kind of running off the ball. He's very good at creating those positions. I think he and Odegaard are having a really, really nice little partnership around that area as well, where Odegaard can pick up the ball, and Emil Smith Rowe can start running off the ball as well and taking players with him. So I was happy. I mean, but what are you going to do, isn't it? You got to chase after it at this point. It's got to be all pedal to the metal. You're going to leave yourself exposed at the back, but you need to go for it. So I was happy with the subs, and I was happy it was Xhaka coming off, not Partey, because my worry would have been Partey coming off. Even though Partey had, for me, one of his worst games for Arsenal, one thing he does, he picks up the ball, he distributes it quickly, which is something Xhaka can't do. So yeah, I was happy with.
He also gets the ball and shoots off target. Go next first, AJ. We're really getting close to Grealish. I think we should now start targeting Haaland with these super chats. Thank you very much, RK. This is going to Arsenal's transfer funds for the summer. I think we should now start targeting Haaland. Like, forget about the
I love Haaland.
Another 2 yesterday and all that. Thank you for that.
I love any striker who can actually finish easy chances, to be honest. So
or hit the target, actually. Yeah, hit the target. I like those guys.
I think another $40 and another $40 and we can get another striker.
Deposit down.
Maybe Jovic. I think there's a guy at Frankfurt called was it Jovic or Rebic?
Luka Jovic, yeah. I mean, he flopped at Madrid, so I don't know if he's the safest.
Yeah, that's one. I think he scored a lot of goals yesterday as well on Saturday. So, AJ, I'll give you the last question because we need to get into the player ratings. Aubameyang, because you won't be here. So, what did you make of Aubameyang getting subbed off? Should he have gone off?
He should have gone off after like the 20th, 30th minute. He was dreadful. Come on, he was disciplined for North London derby, rightly so, and then. Was he warranted? He got back into the Olympiacos game, rubbish, 0 out of 0 pretty much. This one, 0 out of 0, absolutely rubbish. What is he, since the Benfica one, what has he actually done? What has he done? And it's something to be considered, and putting him on the right wing didn't do him any justice either. That's Aubameyang's.
I don't like Aubameyang on the right. I don't like Martinelli on the right. I don't like Lacazette in either wings. That was very funny because I remember under Emery, there's a time Lacazette and Aubameyang were played as split strikers, one from the left and one from the right, and that usually didn't work. I usually don't like that. So, player ratings time, AJ. Where can they follow you on? Go?
It's the YouTube and the Twitter, and Odegaard man of the match.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant, man. Thank you, man. I'll see you next time.
Thank you, bro.
So let's get into the player rating. This is where it's going to be very interesting. Gonna Express and Ray helping me out with player ratings this time round. I'll start with you, Ray, because you had a lot to say about Leno. So Leno in go.
4.
4. Why?
That goal he conceded, man, it's like really bad. It's really, really bad. He made some decent saves. Yeah, I know, but the saves weren't. He should make those saves. Does that make sense? They're not like in the corner. Yeah. It's not like full stretch and stuff like that. The second half he played well. He did what he needed to do, but I think 4. And I'm not so harsh in these kind of ways, but for me it was a 4 because the save really should have been made.
Okay, and then Gonna Express.
4. Awful. I don't know what he did good today. He kicked the ball long a few times, which I liked, but they never actually hit the intended target. So what's the point? You might as well just kick it short. conceded 3 goals. One of them was definitely his fault. That's an instant, few points down. And again, like Ray said, the saves, if he didn't make those saves, we're all going to say, oh, he should be making them saves. So again, nothing good, just nothing good. I'm getting worried with Leno now because every game he seems to do something just that little bit worse than the one before. And I think it's because this defense. I think the defense is making him worse as a keeper because he's having to cover for them so much. And it's now getting to the point where he just can't. He can't cover for them anymore. And he's beginning to show how, for me, I've said this for a while, Leno, for me, will not take us to a big trophy. I want him gone within the next 2 seasons because he makes too many mistakes. And he can't kick a ball long. He's, as you said before, decision-making poor. For me, there's a keeper at Sevilla called Bono. I want him in. He's so much better. The guy has the second most clean sheets in La Liga. He scored a goal yesterday. The guy scored a goal yesterday at keeper. He scored an equal.
I saw that against was it
for
1-1
me, Valladolid, 1-1.
Yeah.
But he's just a better keeper in every way, shape, or form. I've seen a lot of him. I've watched a lot of him, and everything he does is just. I just look at him and I think he's just better than Leno. And the one thing is, you could probably go back through some of these reactions, and I'm sat here saying Leno's the best keeper in the world, this and that. But recently, I've begun to watch the older games and just watch Leno. And I realized that he's not that good a keeper when we actually think about it. He's definitely like top 5 in the league, but will he take us to a Premier League like Edison will? Absolutely not. Not even almost.
Can I? Sorry, Glenn. Before you go on, can I ask a question to Gunnar?
Yeah.
If we had Martinez, would you have the same opinion that he couldn't take us to a big trophy, or do you think Martinez could have?
Martinez for me was better. I wanted to keep both of them. I wanted them to fight it out because I think the top team needs 2 good players at least in every single position. But I said I'd rather have had Martinez because his shot stopping for me is better. He could kick a ball long. He was better at commanding his box. He had better decision making. And we've seen that again at Villa. Villa have a worse defence on paper than ours, yet he's doing better than our keeper. So you've got to question why that is.
The next person is even offering us goalkeepers who score goals. I think I'd take that offer. For goalkeepers scores goals as well, I'd take that offer. I'd give Leno because it wasn't.
He's quite young as well, Bono. He's quite young.
It was a poor try in saving a ball. As Ray said, he should have gone with his feet. I don't think he made any kicking mistakes today. I loved how he kicked the ball quickly and stuff. I don't think it was one of the disastrous games. I don't think it was a disaster. And I don't think Leno is one of our problems. If you offer me 8 signings, probably I'd still keep Leno and sort out other positions. I think he's our best keeper since the last 15 years, probably. I think he's been our best keeper, apart from Martinez. Let's be honest, Martinez was terrible for 9 years and he was okay for 5 months.
He never played. He never played. You can't make that chance, really. You can't make that comment. He hardly played.
He went to Reading and Getafe and they didn't buy him. They sent him back to Arsenal.
Reading wanted to buy him, but we decided to keep him as second and got rid of Ospina instead.
Yeah, exactly. And also they're in the Championship as well.
You can't remember any mistakes Martinez made. You remember the 7-5?
I'm not saying that.
Yeah, but I mean, look. Yeah, we can say Martinez was bad for 9 years, but right now he's the best keeper in the Premier League for me in terms of what he's doing.
I'm
so we need to look at them now.
Like the best Arsenal goalkeepers in the last 10 years. I wouldn't.
I wouldn't put Martinez up there. He didn't play long enough to be given that award. But if he stayed for longer,
but Leno hasn't played that many games either. Not to you, but to Glenn. Leno hasn't played that many games to be that good.
No, 3 and 4 years is good enough. 3 and 4 years is good enough. He should have played since the first day when Czech was here. I think 4 seasons is great to judge someone because the likes of Szczesny, I think, were here for 4 years.
He's been the best goalkeeper since Lehmann, but who's actually been even half as good as Lehmann since then. So it's not really a record to beat. Szczesny's for me, he's not even a good keeper now. He's overrated. Fabianski's not very good. Czech was awful when he came to Arsenal. So it's not hard to beat that record. But again, I think personally, if Martinez stayed for another 2 seasons, we'd have been cheering at him. We'd have said that he's better than Leno, but I mean, we don't get that opportunity. But yeah, man,
it is what it is. Yeah.
So I still believe in that comment. By the way, you just have to wait and see in the next couple of years. So the next one is the right back. Now, Gunnar Express has said we need good players in every single position, 2 players at least. You guys didn't tell me we signed Odegaard and Chambers in January. Who's this new Chambers guy playing at right back, and where has he been, Gunnar Express?
He's been sat on the bench because his manager doesn't want to play him. He's been injured for a while, but he came back from injury. He was never given, and this is what I mean. Everybody was saying sell him, sell him, sell him. And I agreed, but to a certain extent, in the sense that he needs to be given a chance because he was Fulham's best player when they got relegated. And I know that's not really saying anything because they got relegated, but he was their only real good player. Ask any Fulham fan, they said Chambers was the only decent player. They spent £30 million on Jean-Michel Seri that season, and Chambers had him dropped. Chambers was that good, he dropped a £30 million signing. And he was never given a chance. When he played under Emery for a brief stint, he was pretty good at centre-back and centre defensive mid, got injured, and has never had a chance since then. But when he's played, again, I've said it, I think he's been better than Bellerin defensively, maybe not going forward, but defensively. But today, he proved that he can go forward and do a good job. So, as I've said about 4 times already in this video, I don't want Bellerin to play for the club ever again. For me, for now, Cedric's the main right-back, Chambers is the backup. I'd then bring in Aarons in the summer and then let Chambers and Cedric fight for that second spot and then sell the one who doesn't win.
My goodness, Ray, like, what are we giving him out of 10?
6. Because he still conceded 3 goals. He still conceded 3 goals. Let's not forget that.
I'd actually no first start. I think second start he started against Burnley, and then today I'd actually give him an 8. I think he was that brilliant. I think he was our best outlet. We usually use the left side with Tierney and Saka, and then and Pepe as well when he's playing that. Today we used the right side, and every single opportunity created was from him. He could have had like 5 assists today. Like he was running forward, coming back. You didn't know he's a Chambers who's been out injured like for 2 years. I didn't actually believe it was him.
But so the thing is, Glenn, a right back's main, like for me, this is why
Defending.
I don't rate Alexander Arnold as a good right back, because the main thing a right back should do is defending, which is why I don't like Bellerin either. We conceded 3 goals,
but
you have
the
to
second
remember
one come on his side.
that Kufal cross came in from Chambers' side.
Yeah.
So he did still concede 3 goals. I thought he was awful in the first half until that assist for the Suchek own goal.
The Kufal cross came from Tierney's side.
It came from Tierney's side.
Sorry about that. Well, I'm sure I think one of the goals did, but at the end of the day, he still conceded 3 goals. He switched off for the free kick as well. Let's not forget that. He could have done better on the Bowen free kick, the goal from Bowen. But as well, if he was playing right wing, I'd have given him an 8 as well, because going forward, he was excellent. But he's a defender. We conceded 3 goals, so all the defenders have to take a hit today.
Well, I'd actually give him an 8, Ray. Help us out here.
No, I have to agree with Guna Express. I mean, when I was here for the Palace game, I think a couple of months back, I said defenders' first responsibility is to defend. So if you defend and get a clean sheet, you straight up get a 7 from me. But we didn't do that. The whole back line looked poor. And I will never judge a player by his offensive ability, i.e., Alexander Arnold, I think, is a terrible defender, actually. I think he's so bad.
He's awful.
He should play as right wing back or right mid. He'd be a sick right midfielder.
And he played centre mid, didn't he, at the academy, but they switched him. But
but with Chambers, I'll give him a 6. Like Good Express, and spoiler, he's the most highly rated from the back line.
Yeah, agreed.
Highly rated. Okay, so Leicester lead 2-1, by the way. Good times. Tielemans has scored. So for Chambers, though, I know what you guys are saying about defensive. I didn't really feel like he was a calamity. He didn't defend well.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't
something like that. But yeah, I was so happy with his performance. Like if he could like stay fit and play like this, then it sorts out a lot of our problems. You could try and sort out any other position. But yeah, we've seen a lot of times with Arsenal, you can't judge from one performance. Liverpool next time, Mane rips him apart, and then you are 1-2 arguing between 1s and 2s and not 6s and 8s. So we'll go with 6 because you two have gone with 6. I'd given him an 8 anyway. The next one is the left back, Tierney, Gune Express. Not really the best of games.
5. I think it's one of his worst performances in an Arsenal shirt. I think the passing, especially in the first 10 minutes, was awful. I mean, everybody was poor at the passing, but so many times it was like weak passes. Like they weren't powerful enough to even reach where he wanted them to go. Yeah. But what I will say is this, the reason why I don't give him a 4 is Aubameyang. Aubameyang was meant to play on the left, and Tierney so many times was on that left wing because Aubameyang was just doing some stupidness in the middle. So I think Tierney was actually so exposed that he did look worse than what he actually was in terms of Aubameyang just wasn't helping him. Like in the Tottenham game, I know I didn't get to come on, but a lot of Tottenham fans were roasting Doherty, and he was awful.
Yeah.
But Bale was giving him no support, like no support at all. And I think today's the same thing with Aubameyang. No support for the left back. And Tierney struggled with going forward and defending on his own, which shouldn't be the case. But 5, again, didn't have a great game. Defensively was poor. Switched off for the free kick, which I didn't expect him to do. I thought if anyone was going to be on job, it'd be him, and he switched off. But I still think he should be captain. That double block, let's not forget that double block, by the way. What that first block, amazing. Absolutely amazing. But
I still can't believe that they should have scored at least 3 more. Well.
Captain material.
So Tierney, I remember, even though I don't think any of us had started the channel by then when Tierney was signing, but when Tierney was signing, I was like, who is this guy we keep getting linked with for the last 4 months? We can't 20 million, 25 million complaining about. I was like, just forget about him and go for any. How I'm so glad you didn't forget about him. Like, I saw Celtic versus Rangers today, and I don't know. I know the left back. I think the light-skinned guy, but he's nowhere near Tierney right now. Nowhere near that. I don't know his name. Like literally, that's the only thing I could say.
Just say the left back. Just say the left back.
No, they have 3 left backs. No, he stands.
I was going to say Frimpong, but I think he's left, hasn't he? I think Frimpong's left.
Yeah, no, the Celtic left back like has braids, like all that. Like he stands out a lot. So yeah, you can. I tell him from the rest of the players.
Tavernier was ripping him up the whole game. I'll be honest, like that guy was struggling.
So I could have said the left back Ray, but they have many left backs. So I was saying the one who played today against Rangers. So yeah, Tierney is very, very far from them. If you ask me, my favorite Arsenal player, it is Tierney right now, not Saka or Aubameyang from last season or any of those. Tierney definitely. Love the way he takes on players. Energy-wise, probably saved us in the Europa League as well. So poor performance today. Mistake, as Ray said. What did you make of the mistake for the third goal?
Sorry, what's the question? I'm so sorry. Am I?
No problem. Tierney, like, what did you make of the mistake, the third goal?
The second goal, yeah.
The one that Tierney gave away.
The Kufal cross.
Yeah, I think that was the third goal. Yeah.
Oh, the third goal. Yeah. He had a tough game. But again, Goon Express, I mean, he and I spoke before the video, obviously, about our ratings, like we did, I think, last time. He gets no help. It's ridiculous. How much can one man do, isn't it? And Aubameyang is just a passenger. Infuriating me. And Tierney had a bad game, didn't he? He had a really poor game. He was getting in the right positions as well, but his crossing, it just wasn't on point as much as it usually is. So if I can rate him, it's a 5. And I think I'm being nice, but, I'll give him a 5. But in regards to the third goal, he should have read it better to be able to block the cross, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think the crosses are not that bad. I'm starting to consider getting Andy Carroll for at least 1 million for one season. No, seriously. If we had a tall player in that box, we'd have been scoring 4 or 5 goals.
Let's get Suchek, because that guy scores more headers than anybody.
Yeah, because of the number of crosses we put in. Sometimes they just put in crosses and there's no one in the box, like Tierney from the left, Bellerin from the right, Chambers, like some really high crosses, and Aubameyang isn't really that kind of striker. Well, Lacazette showed he is today. But yeah, if you get someone like a Carroll or a Giroud or bring back Bentner, I remember Shamak was very good from heading as well. Adebayo, those kind of players like would have been balling right now. So I agree with you guys, Tierney 5. The next one is going to be the centre back, Luis Ray.
4. I thought he was really poor. I thought him and Mari were very poor. They didn't really patrol it. They got beaten left, right, and centre from Antonio. Really bad game, actually. And is Holding injured, or has he just been dropped?
I hope it's been. I hope he's
on
dropped.
The bench. He's been on the bench. He's been on the bench.
It's just David Luiz has an error in him all the time, but he didn't make an error necessarily.
So, there, me and Gun Express will disagree with you, because I think Luiz is probably our best defender right now, alongside.
Which is not saying a lot. In my opinion. I don't think that's saying a lot, but in the performance today, I think it was a 4. I think he struggled. He and Mari. I think Antonio had him all day, personally.
Yeah, very, very poor performance. I think even a 4 is very high. Good next, Russ.
I'm just going to keep the centre back short and sweet. They both get a 4. not the greatest performance. But I'll say this, right? Again, going to question Mikel Arteta on this. We know as fans, and surely they know as that, the analysts and all these tactical geniuses they have in the background who analyse the upcoming opposition, that West Ham have some of the best headers of the ball in the league. Antonio can win a header. Souček can win a header. So why is Gabriel not playing? Because that guy wins more headers than anybody in our team. So why has Gabriel been dropped? I don't get it. If you're going to go against a team who head the ball better than anybody else in the league, why are you dropping the one player who can stop headers? That's Gabriel. And again, it's poor decision making, and we take the consequences because Mari and Louise struggled with the headers from Souček and Antonio, and I think some of those headers Gabriel's dealing with. But again, we picked the wrong player, and we face the consequences for that by conceding 3 pretty easy goals, really. But 4 for both defenders, just not good enough from either of them, really.
Yeah.
Surprised Mari started, Ray?
Very. I mean, Gabriel's a beast, isn't he? He's an absolute beast. You can imagine him absolutely giving Antonio a run for the money. Antonio, for me, when he started and I saw Marie and Louise, I was a bit concerned that Antonio could do him, and he did, unfortunately. The thing I like about Gabriel is not only is he very good off the ball, but I think his decision-making is already improving, which is really, really a positive for us going on in the future. But for me, I don't like rotation of centre-halves. You know what I mean? When they play well, you play them. When Holding and Mari were playing brilliantly, just keep them until it, there's a screw up somewhere, then you can do it. But, for us to keep but don't keep rotating it. So for me, Gabriel should play every single game. Every game. Yeah.
I like how you said we until they make a mistake. We can be changing the defenders every single week because at least one of them will mess up one week. We'll change the next one. But I do agree that you should be rotating defenders. Gabriel has been very good. I started him and Luis as well. Pablo Mari, I don't know. He's not bad. He's been okay. Holding was also okay, I guess, maybe 5 out of 10, maybe for a few games, 6 out of 10. But I do agree that Pablo Mari 5, Luis 5. We're sticking with that for next one.
I'm going 4.
4. Okay. Next one, we're going to midfield. Granit Xhaka, go next first.
Again, giving both the midfielders 3. I thought they were absolutely dreadful. Both of them were awful. And I don't like Xhaka, but Partey was just as bad. Xhaka's passing was just... I can't... How are you a professional footballer when you're passing like that? A 3-year-old can pass better than that. Seriously. Unforced errors. So many times he just kicked the ball at the West Ham player. And you're not even getting pressured. I don't get it. You're just so poor on the ball. And I don't get why people praise him so highly. I gave him praise in the last 2 matches because I thought he was one of the best players against Olympiacos and Tottenham. But I said it in those games. He played well. He still ain't good enough. And this is exactly why he's the most inconsistent player alongside Bellerin in our team, because he can have 2 great performances, make a mistake against Burnley, and then play like he did today. And I'm sick of Xhaka. I'm getting sick of him. And if he stays next season, man, we're
How many years does he have remaining in the contract?
Too many. He should never have been given a contract. But again, I'm going to include Partey in this because he's the exact same. Awful performance. Yeah. We brought him in to dominate the midfield. We got dominated by Souček and Rice. And don't get me wrong, they're a good midfield partnership, Souček and Rice, but we have Partey. Thomas Partey, right? Yeah. The Partey is getting started. I'm still sat here with my little party hat on waiting for him to turn up because he ain't turned up yet. So where is I don't... Man, and then let's not mention the off-target shots. Let's not even mention those because... Yeah, you can just go back to another video and watch what we said about that because it's the same thing every week.
Yeah. So Xhaka, as I always say, in the disaster kind of players we had, I think the likes of Kolasinac, Mustafi, Socrates were in their own level. And then the next group are Xhaka and Bellerin, the next level of not being a calamity, but being quite bad sometimes, not being consistent, as you said. And Xhaka is definitely one of those players. We know against Liverpool, he could have a free kick against Chelsea. Or he could get a red card against Liverpool. You literally can't predict that. And if you were to bet on it, you'd probably say he'll get a red card. That's how bad it is with him. So Ray, Xhaka and Partey in midfield.
Oh, they were both pants, weren't they? They were really bad in every single way. The distribution, the tackling, the effort, the energy. Partey just looked like another Xhaka, man, a right-footed Xhaka. It was depressing to watch because he's got no excuses now. He's got his match fitness, he's got his games. Hopefully he's over those terrible injuries, which have really been frustrating me. I've been tweeting that he's our cheerleader because he hardly ever plays. And today it felt like he was our cheerleader. He hardly did anything. I think both of them get a 3. I think it could have even been less. I think Partey might have actually been worse than Xhaka, actually. But sorry, Glenn, you can group all these players, mate.
I just put them together.
And for Partey shooting, listen, he's going to get one where it's going to be an incredible goal, but the ratio is going to be like 1 to 27 or something like that.
In your late 60s.
Well, I'm already in my late 30s. I'm already in my late 30s. Yeah, but I tell you what, he should have picked. He should have picked rugby because he hits those conversions like no one's business, man.
Yeah. Gonna Express. If that's the case, then we have to wait until we are very old for that day he's going to score a goal. But he needs to. One day to go in, as Gonna Express says. But I wonder when, because I'm very, very worrying with those shots. But actually, in the last 5 games,
they're not even. Sorry, Glenn. They're not even close, are they? They're not.
No, they're not. They're not even.
And the stadium is huge as well. Like if the Mofaras and Bolts were still running in the stadium, probably hit one of them in the racetrack or something. Because terrible shots. I'd say for Partey, if you're to judge in the last 5 games and give him a rating, it would easily even be a 3 or 4 because he's been making mistakes here and there sometimes, giving corners away from nowhere, some yellow cards picked up. I don't know. You guys say Partey make Xhaka look better, or does Xhaka make Partey look bad? Which one is it?
I think they're both awful right now. I think, and I'm going to say this, and you have to take it with a little bit of a sugar sprinkling, but he's been a flop. Partey's been a big flop, and what I mean by this is he still can come good. I'm not saying he can't come good, but he's a little bit like Thiago for me. Came in from a massive club, so like the highest expectations ever, and just hasn't hit the ground running yet. I think both players will come good for their teams, but he's been a flop. We can't sit here and protect him anymore and say that he hasn't been a flop. He has been a flop because look at Bruno. The guy came in from Sporting. Within a week, he was already banging goals for Man United. We're still waiting for Partey to do anything, really. So, yeah.
So what I'm hoping for is, because Ceballos came to Arsenal and he was very good for the first 4 or 5 games, and then he drifted off. And then he came good in the important matches at the end of the season, the FA Cup. So I'm hoping Partey does similar in the Europa League, especially. Like if he comes good,
so he scores one of those long shot goals against United in the final to win us. Yeah, that would be
if they keep playing like this, I think we'll be playing Roma in the final. So if he has one of those shots goes in, then we kind of forget he's had a bad season. But his injuries and all that frustrating, as Ray said, very, very frustrating. Let's go into oh God, I know this is not going to be good. I'll start with you, Ray. Aubameyang on the left side. Or on the right side, I'll just say.
Aubameyang on the pitch, 2.
Where was he? Yeah. Did he turn up?
It's not even about being bad. It's about not seeing him. I didn't even see him.
The most energy he actually exuded was the celebration for Lacazette's equalizer.
Oh, goodness. I can't actually believe. It's a good thing. I'm happy that other people are scoring on Aubameyang. Because I remember last season I said, I don't want Aubameyang to be scoring all our goals. I want others to contribute as well, which is happening right now. But I didn't want him to be bad. Like, I still always believe in him. I always tell Guna Express I don't want him to start on the bench and all that. But he was, not good. What did you give him, Ray? What did you?
2.
2. I don't think you're being harsh. You think that's fair? Guna Express?
I'm bored of Aubameyang now. I want him out. See you later, mate. You've had your time, but I've had enough. I've said it. I didn't want him to sign the new contract. I had my reasonings. He's old. He was never going to get better. He was only going to get worse. And we're seeing that. I think he's more interested in what colour he wants to paint his new Ferrari than he is actually scoring goals, because the guy turns up late to a team meeting because he's stuck in traffic. Well, then set off earlier. Yeah. That's not an excuse. Mm-hmm. If you turn up late to school or work because you're in traffic, they're just going to say, well, get up earlier then. Like, it's no excuse, really. It isn't. The club captain gets dropped in the biggest game of the season against our biggest rival. That's saying something. you don't. That's not a good example to set to the young players like Saka and Aziz and all these young players. And I'm bored now. He's missed too many chances this season. He's not going to carry us any further. And let's just get rid of him. We should have got rid of him for 50 million quid to Barcelona last summer. We didn't. And now we'll be lucky to get 30 million for him because his price will have dropped drastically. And now we're stuck with two old strikers in Lacazette and Aubameyang, a rubbish player in Nketiah, Balogun who's about to leave. What's the future for us up front? Martinelli, who gets 10 minutes every game. Yeah, man, it's not looking good. But two, awful, did nothing. What else can we say?
Imagine turning late in a Ferrari. Like, I'd be the first one there, like...
In his chrome holographic Ferrari as well.
With me and my Toyota. Okay, Toyota is not a bad car. There's some good Toyotas. But me and my Toyota, and then I come early, and then the one with the Ferrari comes late. You have to wonder.
Make sure you wrap it, Glenn. Make sure you wrap it.
Yeah, I don't listen.
Golden wrap.
I can't give up on him. I won't give up on him, Glen Express, because I know these 5 games coming in the Europa League. Hopefully it's 5 and not 2. He'll still help us somewhere. But these missed chances, it's not even about the missed chances. It's like the performances. Like, I'm not even
it's just
saying
laziness.
It's not like last season. Like last season, he carried us. Can you imagine he still won more trophies than Kane, though? That must be sickening for them. Even the poor Aubameyang has won more trophies than them. But yeah, I think that giving the captaincy was a bad decision, first of all. So I think I'd give him a 2, as Ray said. The next one is Saka on the right. Glen Express missed a couple of chances.
I'm just going to keep it short again with Saka. 5, I don't think he should have played. I think he looked a little bit tired, a little bit unfit. Literally yesterday, the club released a statement saying that Saka is a doubt for today's game. Not even 24 hours later, he's in the starting 11. Like, I thought at first it might just be mind games. Like, oh, he is fit. We're just going to say he isn't to kind of throw West Ham off. But I said in the back of my mind, we never do that. We never do that. And what happened? Saka's played too prematurely, a little bit like Partey was against Spurs. Yeah. And I think what I'll say is this: I think we're lucky he didn't get injured, because I was expecting him to get injured today, especially in the first 20 minutes. I wanted him dropped for Olympiacos. I wanted him dropped today and then bring him back in against Liverpool, because he's going to go. You know, I doubt he plays against Liverpool. I doubt he does, because I bet he's too unfit. And
he'll be tired. From England.
Who's going to go against Robertson now? Like, we needed Saka to go against Robertson, and I doubt we'll see that. So again, Arteta, wrong decision, and it now hurts us in the long run.
I'll tell you, we'll go against Robertson, the well-rested Willian. He's been rested today just for the 2 week. He's going to have a 3-week break just to face Robertson. Poor Robertson is going to be in for a long day. But yeah, I want to ask you something, Ray, on Saka. Which kind of guy are you? Are you the kind of guy that says, you know what, I don't want Saka to go to England because I'm selfish. I don't want him to get injured because we want him. Or are you the kind of guy like, I'm happy for him, let him go and play some international football? Which one are you?
If the guy's not fit, then for me he shouldn't go. That's all. If he's playing well and he's fit and he's healthy, absolutely. Representing your country for me is still one of the greatest honors in any sport or in anything, to represent your actual nation. But if I can segue it to Saka, my rating is that okay? Oh. Yeah. Is like I said in the beginning, and reverberate what Glen Express said. The boy looks tired. You know, he looks tired. He looks leggy. He just came back from sickness. I think it is so unbelievably naive of Arteta to start Saka today. It's ridiculous, actually. I know beginning the team, you said, what do you think of the lineup? Of course, I'm happy with it and everything. But, you know, Saka's just come back from something. It's madness he plays him. And in fact, I see Arteta always play Saka. I understand why. I think he's our best attacking player overall before Odegaard came in. Now I'm unsure. But, you know, the guy needs a proper break. He needs a proper break. He's 19 years old. He needs some rest, a bit like Smith Rowe, you know. Manage your players, Arteta. Yeah, and he's not doing that. You know, I agree with Glen Express. He's going to break down and get a proper injury. And it's because of fatigue and the fact that he's 19. You know, he's not developed into a man yet. You know, his bones are still going through that immune system of growing and actually, you know, becoming structurally more of an actual grown adult, which he isn't right now. So in regards to his, and also he's a poor finisher.
Mm-hmm.
He's a poor
I've
finisher.
noticed that as well. People won't tell you that, but he is. Like, I like the finish where he passed the goalkeeper at Southampton. when you beat them in the league. But there are a few others like Burnley, 3 chances. This game against Burnley, that game would have been over in the first half. He had 3 good chances, missed them all. Against United, I remember away from home when he dominated them at Old Trafford.
Yeah, but
like few
my thing is this: he misses a lot of big chances, but he's like, I do think he is just a poor finisher. But I've said this a lot with Arsenal. We bring in a lot of good players, and they get worse when they come here. The likes of Partey, Gabriel had a bit of a struggle. It's because who they're playing with. You know, the likes of Mavropanos, when he came in at first, he was really good. As soon as he started playing a little bit with Mustafi, he got worse and worse and worse. And it's the same thing for me with Partey. He's playing with the likes of El Neni, Xhaka. He's training with them. So he's going to get worse. And for me, Saka's finishing isn't going to improve when Aubameyang, who's missing chances, Lacazette, who misses chances, when he's training with them. He needs a proper goal scorer next to him who he can learn from. And we don't have one. We just don't have one right now. So for me, bring in Ivan Toney from Brentford. Let him teach Saka a little bit how to finish his dinner, because he has a 67% conversion rate, which is incredible.
And yesterday in their game.
Ivan Toney. Look how many goals the guy has. So the guy has he has more goal contributions than games played. The guy's a beast. And for me, it's the conversion rate. 67% conversion rate for a striker is incredible. So give Saka that little bit of help. Like, let Ivan Toney teach him how to convert chances, because that's the one thing for me with Saka. He does everything but convert chances. That's it.
Something?
Yeah, so if I go back to my rating, I'd give him a 5. Effort, full on as always. Just no end product. Just, man. Honestly, I love the guy. I really do. He's possibly our best player, actually. But he needs a few games to rest up. You know, bring him back for the game against Dinamo. Don't play him against Liverpool. Don't even have him in the squad. Yeah, just let him rest up, because
now, I'm in a point where, after Liverpool, we have, I think, Sheffield United, Newcastle, Fulham. I'm saying that with all the respect, because any of those teams can win any kind of game. All those teams basically that you're supposed to beat. So I probably wouldn't play him in any of those games, because they're in and around the Europa League. So I wouldn't play him in the Premier League. He's the one of him and Tierney. I just put them out of the Premier League team. By the way, I still have confidence, as I've always told you guys, about top 6. I still leave them out because I think Cedric can fill in a couple of times and Pepe can fill in the league. So I'd definitely not play the 2 of them in the league. But there's a guy I definitely play. Now, our number 10, I'm going to use this again. Like, Glenn, I've traveled to Australia. I'm there for a 1-week holiday. I've fallen in love with a girl, and I know I'm only there for 2-3 weeks, and I'm going to leave. And the girl is going to be there, and I'm going to be in love with someone who's not close to me. That is me and Odegaard. Odegaard is here for only 3 more weeks, and I'm absolutely falling in love with him. He is very, very good. I'm not even going to add anything. I'm going to let you guys go first. Trey, Odegaard?
As a player, absolutely phenomenal. When he was at Madrid and he wasn't getting played enough, I was just like, it's unbelievable that this kid is not getting played, because he's got fantastic talent. And if I may say something, my wife's sister-in-law, well, not sister-in-law, her brother-in-law's sister lives in Drammen, where Odegaard is born. And she said that even there, he not only had the technical talent, but the industry as well to work hard. He'd actually go out there. Trust me, there's a story there. In the location of Drammen or Oslo, there's no central heating. You need to go to the trees and chop down the trees, chop down the wood, and actually put it into the fire. That's how you get heating. Yeah. And the reason I give that example is Odegaard not only has the technical skill, he actually has the thinking of that kind of industrial mindset to be in the right position to receive the ball and then start to actually transition it properly. And he deceivingly works hard. You know, he's not like a lazy git or anything like that, like the previous 10 we had. I think you can build a team for this guy. Yeah. I think if they said we want £50 million for Odegaard, I'd be like 52 million. You know what I mean? I think the guy's world class. I want him to stay. When we got him on loan, I knew he'd be this good because he's a brilliant player, fantastic talent, and we'll build a team around the boy, man. With him, Saka, Emil Smith-Rowe, Martinelli, we actually have some phenomenal attacking prowess for the future. However, I don't think we're going to keep him. And breaks my heart.
That would
So a
hurt.
bit like
That
you,
would hurt.
a bit like you.
Yeah. Going to
He's a
Australia,
he's a gorgeous dancer behind the screen that I can never touch.
Keep it PG as Leicester score the third goal. Kelechi Iheanacho.
Ah,
We are starting.
wonderful.
Leicester are going through and United are going out of the FA Cup. At least we know
Good.
what we're going to do after this. Very, very good example. Ray, let's just hope no kids are watching.
Sorry, that was a bit too much. Sorry, that was a lot.
No problem. We get the example, but yeah, Odegaard, we are falling in love with him, and he's not going to be here for long, and probably Solskjaer won't be at United for long as well. So Odegaard, very, very good, and I didn't know, like Guna Express, 5 years ago we were talking about Higuain, Benzema, coming to Arsenal. Who knew in 2021 Chambers and Odegaard would be the best combination at Arsenal? Like, that right side was very, very good. The kind of passes gave to him. I really enjoyed watching that. Would you again start them in the next game?
Odegaard.
Kind of position. And Chambers?
Maybe not Chambers.
Take Liverpool out of the. Okay, forget about Liverpool. Like whichever team it would have been. Does he deserve to start?
I'd still probably play Cedric, just for that little bit extra in terms of pace. I think Cedric's a bit faster, but on Odegaard quickly, I wouldn't actually sign him permanently. I'd bring him in on a loan because the one thing for me, I understand he has talent, and I'm going to compare him to Ceballos, but in a different way. Ceballos was really highly thought of in his first game, and Arsenal fans all over the place were saying, sign him, this and that. He's crap. Ceballos is rubbish. And I don't think Odegaard will be the same, but I don't want to take the risk of signing him for 50 to 60 million quid to then him not be as good as we think he is. So I'd loan him in for another season, option to buy, not an obligation, but like an option of maybe 50 million. If he plays well, then sure, go sign him up. But if he does play rubbish, which is a possibility, because you've got to remember, he hasn't played in a long time. So it might just be that he's having a great little spurt, but then he might get a little bit worse and worse. But I wouldn't take the risk, because we took the risk with Pepe. I still think Pepe's a great player, but we've lost so much money on him. And I don't want the same thing I don't want the same thing to happen with Odegaard. So take it a bit more carefully, loan him in again next season and see what he can do. But for today's performance, a 7.
There's an option of loaning him again. 7.
Man of the match, 7.
8 probably.
I thought he was really good. The pass to Chambers, I think it was the second goal. The pass, the West Ham team were expecting him to pass to Aubameyang. He wasn't even looking at Chambers, and he just switched it straight to him. So he has that awareness, which we don't have at Arsenal, and I really like it.
Yeah, like he reminds me of, I think there was a player at Real Madrid, the ones who used to watch play FIFA 2006 and 5. I think there was a player called Guti, if I'm not wrong, at Real Madrid. Guti, So those kind of players, Guti, Mata, Silva, those left-footed players who you just enjoy watching. Like Odegaard is reminding me of that. Like very, very sleek with the ball. He goes for the ball, and he asks for the ball, and then he contributes and passes to the left, passes to the right. I absolutely love him. So I'd give him an 8. Ray, what was your final rating for him?
7.
7. So we go with 7. You guys are giving him a 7. The last one on the pitch was Lacazette. Wow, Guna Express. He was very good.
5.
5?
Yeah,
Lacazette
great goal.
Was pretty good.
Great goal. Great goal with a header.
I actually don't agree with that.
He didn't score the first goal.
Lacazette was our best player today.
Let me land you.
No, it was from him.
No, the first goal he didn't score though because it was going wide. So just take away the Suchek block, he doesn't score. So I don't give him any. Again, great way to control it, but he didn't score the goal. Great goal overall, but I don't blame Lacazette. I don't think he had a bad game in terms of him. I don't think he was given the ball enough. I think Aubameyang was just getting in the way all the time. Aubameyang was playing like as a second striker, but he just got in the way. Every time Lacazette went to get the ball, Aubameyang would run in, take it, and then lose it straight away. So I think it's not he had a poor game. It's he didn't have the opportunity to have a good game. But even then, saying that, he scored a great goal. And he did do decent, great touch on the first goal. So I'll probably give him a 6, simply because for me, I think he was hindered by Aubameyang again. And this is the second time I've said this when I've come on to your show, Glenn, that Aubameyang and Lacazette together don't work. And it's always Aubameyang getting in the way. But Yeah, maybe I can. If you guys give him 7s, 8s and stuff, I completely agree. But for me, I just didn't see him being allowed to get on the ball enough. But 6, 7, maybe just anywhere around there.
Jesus Christ, you mean? Jesus Christ, you mean? I mean, he was like everything went through him. Like even the
Good
holding
Express
up of
broke
play.
character. He smiled. He
Like,
broke character.
I think that is the toughest rating is given on any of the 50, 20, 100 shows we've done. I think that's the harshest. Like he was very good. Like if that is why like, I always tell you guys.
He turned off his camera to wipe it
I always
off.
tell you guys at start Aubameyang, but today I was actually asking to take Aubameyang off and leaving Lacazette because he was that good. I never ever scream about Aubameyang going off, even if he plays how badly, because I know he can get a chance and score. But he was very good today. He should have went down, would have gotten a penalty or free kick. Yes, the first goal was going out. Like I agree with you, good express it was off target. But the rest of the game, like everything was going through him. Lacazette, Odegaard, Chambers, best 3 players today. Like I hope they have him in the team of the week because I think he was very good. Ray, Lacazette, clearly Guna Express is harsh. Please help us again.
Nah, 8, legit 8. For me, our best player, and I'll tell you why.
Phew.
Oh my God, Guna Express, you got me, man. That was so funny. Anyway, I think what he did is he pulled us by literally the horns to try and get us back into the game. You know what I mean? And in the second half, he was doing really well to actually pick up the ball, like drop deep to pick up the ball and link up the play, and then try and get in the positions again. Yeah, I thought he did that brilliantly in the second half. First goal, like I said, I really genuinely feel his first touch was a lucky touch, but then he done really well to swivel it, and then it was off target, so ultimately it was not a good shot. But in the second half, he linked up the play really well, brought some of the players into the play, and then took his goal brilliantly. So I think if Lacazette didn't, pretty much perform what he did, we would have easily got beaten. And I definitely agree with Guna Express. Aubameyang and Lacazette should not start together. They should not.
So,
that was
I
why
apologize
I said,
for putting him in my lineup. I wanted both of them to start today, actually.
No,
I mean, because I wanted to try it again, because up front, not on the left, try 2 up front.
Because there are 2 best finishers ultimately. Probably, yeah. Probably. Maybe Martinelli.
Used to be.
But one of the things is that when Lacazette plays, I feel he puts in the effort and the shift. When he's not playing well, he works hard. Yeah. And that's why if in my first team right now, Lacazette would be up front, not Aubameyang, because Aubameyang has too many games where he's drifting and coasting. So Lacazette today, I give him an 8. I think he personified the second half. I think he personifies Arsenal, actually. We work hard, but we don't always have that end product. So I'll give him an 8. Man the match for me. We probably could have won it at the end. We should have got a penalty. But Lacazette 8. Man the match.
I give him an 8 as well. I think Guna Express was watching maybe the Aston Villa game.
I was paying too much on Aubameyang, I think, and how annoyed he was. I was getting with him, but
I think you were watching that game on screen where we played 2 months ago.
I can agree with 8s and stuff for Lacazette, but personally, I just didn't see him do enough. But again, I don't blame him for that. But yeah, man, 8s, 7s, 6s, whatever. But I agree, he was good, but just Aubameyang was just annoying me too much, I think.
Okay, before we go into our bench, I'll give you 1 each because I knew we are going to take 5 minutes on Arteta. We have to rate Craig Dawson. You guys didn't tell me we signed Craig Dawson. What a player. What did you give Craig Dawson for today, Ray? What did you give Craig Dawson for today? He was brilliant. I'd give him a 10, very good.
As an Arsenal player in that second half, he got a 9, man. He was absolutely brilliant. 9. So yeah.
So man of the match.
First half he got a 2 for Arsenal, but in the second half he got a 9.
So there's when I did that combined 11 with the West Ham fan, there were 4 arguments. So I want quick answers from you. The first one was, who would you have in a combined 11? Leno, Fabianski, Guna Express.
Leno.
Ray?
Actually, Leno. No, wait. I'd have Bono from Sevilla, but yeah.
No. Just between the 2 of them right now.
Yeah, Leno. Easily Leno.
Ray?
Fabianski's trash, man.
Ray?
Leno, easy.
So I think Fabianski is a very good shortstop as well. The next argument you had was Gabriel and Dawson. They suggest that Dawson has had a very good season for them, which I agree. Dawson has had a very good season for them. So they actually put Dawson ahead of Gabriel. I'm sure you guys would have Gabriel.
I would have said Gabriel and Ogbonna as the two centre backs.
Me too.
I went for Gabriel and Ogbonna.
Or Louise and Ogbonna.
They went for Ogbonna and Dawson because apparently they've had a very good season together and they didn't expect it. The next one was midfield, Partey or Rice. Now they suggest that Rice has had a very good year and Partey hasn't been the best player. So I put that on the poll, and Arsenal fans are like, these West Ham fans are crazy. You can never relate the two, like Partey and Rice. Partey is way clear of Rice, but I do agree this season Rice has been better. But there's still people who don't rate Rice. I know that people still don't rate Rice.
I don't rate Rice much, but he's been better than Partey.
Okay, then the last one, Ray, was Lacazette and Antonio. Who would you have as your striker?
Antonio.
So same with the next one.
Agreed. Yeah. Antonio.
Okay. So I guess Sushek, Partey. Yeah. So I don't know. I think you guys will still have like 5 or 6 Arsenal players in there. Let's go to the bench. I'll give you one each. Ray, Pepe. He crossed with his right foot. Breaking news. I did see that. Yes, we are talking about Lacazette and Aubameyang.
He didn't do a Rabona. He didn't do a Rabona. Yeah, it was actually his right foot. Yeah.
No, I think that's a curse. I think if you do a Rabona, you end up losing 2 games in a week. So no, thank you.
Oh, Jesus.
What did you give Pepe? Very good.
No, as soon as he came on, he was just a handful. I'll give him a 7, man. He should have started the game. I think he's been excellent in the last 4 or 5 matches. When he came on, drove at him. He wasn't predictable. He ran to the byline, put in a beautiful cross. Can't blame the defense. Cross was inch perfect. For me, should have got a penalty if they looked at it with that Soufal drag. But, mate, as soon as he came on, absolutely brilliant. I'll give him a 7.
7, I do agree. Martinelli going to express enough time?
No. Again, poor management from Arteta. I think he should have started. But, yeah, just 5 or no rating. Didn't have enough time.
Smith Rowe, did he have enough time?
No, not really. Just 5 in it.
Yeah, default 5 in it.
I'm always happy when Smith Rowe comes on. Like, I'm so happy like he improved his game and got used because I feel confident when he comes in. I feel like we can actually get a goal. So I'm happy with that. Then let's get into the manager. So this is going to be interesting, Mikel Arteta. So let me just get my points out. Definitely now I'm Arteta in. So one of the reasons I always give in my 6 reasons why I'm Arteta in is the team spirit. Now, I was very surprised when he went 3-0 down because under Arteta, I've never really felt like we've gone 3-0 down, 4-0 or 5-0 down and lost a game heavily. Now, the last 10 years, we've been losing games heavily. West Brom, Crystal Palace, Liverpool, Bayern, Chelsea, United. But under Arteta, those 18 months he's been in charge, I don't know, he's not 18 yet, maybe 14 or something. I've never felt like we'd get hammered because of that defensive thing we've been talking about, Trey. I've never felt like we're getting hammered. And the team spirit is what I usually use. These days, even when you go a goal down, even I think the last 2-3 weeks, that's what we've done, I still feel confident. I don't feel like, okay, that's going to go 4, 5, 6 goals. I feel like we can still have something. And at halftime, you could tell they definitely got into them. That's why it came in as the better team in the second half. So team spirit is the main thing I always use as well. So Ray, I'll come to you first. Probably a good idea to come to you first. What did you give us for today?
Okay. So before I start, I don't care who the manager is. I want my team to win. Yeah. If Arsenal go on and eventually become Premier League champions, Champions League threateners, all that kind of stuff under Arteta, I'll be so happy. I'll eat humble pie. I won't make excuses. Because I must say, on Twitter, I think it's poisonous Arsenal fans because it's almost like, oh, I told you it wasn't going to work. Yeah, for me, that's
BS. So that's what I don't like.
Yeah, exactly. But I think you and I have spoken about that before. We want our team to win, and I don't care who it is. Yeah, so there's no agenda against Arteta there. Okay, but this was another example for me where I have strong doubts that he can lead this team forward because that team spirit should have been there as soon as we walked onto the pitch. Yeah, we came on with a hangover, didn't put the effort in, didn't put the miles in, didn't put the energy in until we literally got that equalizer, which was an own goal. That's the only time we put that energy in. And when you're in employment, you follow your leader's instructions, even if you feel like you don't fully agree with them. Yeah. So we came in and we did not show that fight and that energy to go forward. In the second half, we had nothing to lose at this point. It could have been 6. Yeah. And don't forget, Antonio hit the post at 3-2. Yeah. And Chambers cleared that goal after Leno and all those idiots at the back were making a complete mess of it. Yeah, because we keep playing this way from the back where the actual ratio of success is so low. What are we going to do? We're going to do a couple of passes, eventually get it wide. We've conceded 3 goals in the last 4 games with those little passes in the back. Okay, we didn't do it today. Point being, the instruction is coming from Arteta. I think he gets a 3, and I'm being very, very, very polite that he's getting a 3 today. Yeah. So just him as a performance, I thought today, very poor from Arteta.
Okay, so where I've heard you say that's why you don't think he's the guy to take us forward because of those first 30 minutes. Okay, so let's be honest. Teams go down once in a while. I remember the Invincibles team, we were down to Liverpool, I think 2-0 at halftime. Newcastle a couple of years ago, 2-0 down. West Ham first game of the season too. So these are things that usually happen at least once in a season to every team, where you just like have a very terrible first half. I don't know if you guys can correct me. I don't think we've gone down 3-0 in any game since Arteta came. I don't remember any that we've gone down 3-4-0 at
Man
all
City.
since he came in. Man City, how many times though? Okay, league games.
Once or
Forget
twice.
about the Carabao Cup. In the league.
Still once, I think.
No, 1-0, 1-0. They've never beaten us 3-0. Okay, the Premier League game. Okay, you're probably right. Maybe once after lockdown, the City game. So maybe once or twice we've gone down 3-0. And I always feel like during even last Wenger's season, like 5-6.
Yeah, your mic's on muffled.
Yeah, your mic, Glenn. Your mic, man. Oh, keep going. I think he wants us to keep going.
I'll wait for him to get back because I have a lot to say, so I'm going to let him finish because, yeah, Mike's on mute, I think.
Yeah, can't hear him at all, man.
Well, anyway.
Your turn.
Wait for him to get back. Yeah, I'm going to wait because I'll go on for a little while, so I'm going to wait for him to see if he gets back.
Nah.
Still can't hear you.
Now?
Oh, now we can.
I think that is probably Gunek's first cutting my mic because I was going saying a lot of positives about it. So I think I was showing so much energy, just like literally hit the connection and stuff. But yeah, I always feel like teams where it is okay these days, I don't feel like we'd get hammered, if you know what I mean. Like 5-6 years ago, I never feel like we'd get hammered. And that's why I was still confident even when we went 2-0 down, 3-0 down. I still felt like we'd go and have something. Yes, in the first 30 minutes, any team can go down 3-0. I don't agree with going down 3-0. That is absolutely terrible. That was probably the worst half I've seen under Arteta. But it's all about what you do after that. We'd have just had the heads down. If some people say that they don't play for the manager, if they weren't, we'd have lost that game 6-0. But there was an effort, there was fight, there was spirit, what you've always asked for the last 10 years. Show some fight. Don't just like lose the game 6-0, 7-0. So that's what I have to say. Go ahead, go next phase. 2 minutes.
Arteta out for a starter. This guy is just going to keep us going further back. And I've said, and I agree with Ray. Yeah, I don't have an agenda. If this was any manager, I want him out if we're in this situation. But for me, everybody says, "Oh, I don't want Mourinho because it's selling out our soul." If Mourinho won the league with us, I don't care that we sold our soul or anything like that. For me, I don't care who the manager is or who the players are or who their owner is. I just want to win. That's all I care about. I don't care who the owner is. I don't have morals in terms of, oh, but getting Mourinho is like selling your soul. It doesn't matter. If a manager's going to take you further and win you things, who actually cares who it is? But for me, the man management of Pepe is atrocious, and he's not the only one. Emery had awful man management with him, and Lundberg wasn't much better. But everybody says that Arteta is this great man manager and he's this wonderful, nice person. He isn't. He's ruined our young players. And before you say no, he hasn't, he has. Because yes, he's brought Saka into the team, but if he didn't, he'd have been getting so much criticism that it'd be unbelievable. He had to bring Smith Rowe in because at the time when Smith Rowe came in, we were awful. He had no other option. He was running out of ideas and Smith Rowe saved him. And Saliba has been thrown out the door for no reason. Guendouzi's been thrown out the door for no reason. Balogun's been ruined. Nelson's been ruined. Willock's been ruined. And so is Maitland-Niles. He isn't a good manager for Arsenal Football Club. He has no experience at a top level as a manager. And for me, the one thing that annoys me about Arteta in fans who protect him to their last whim is they're beginning to contradict themselves, because they all say, oh, but it doesn't matter that we're 10th. Yes, it does matter that we're 10th, because you don't win anything if you're 10th. You don't get in Europe if you're 10th. We're 9th right now, but when Villa inevitably either beat Tottenham or beat Fulham or even get a draw to either team, they'll be back above us. We're 3 points away now from Spurs. If they beat Aston Villa, they'll be even further ahead of us, and they're only 8th. Top 6 isn't going to happen. Top 4 isn't going to happen. And my only worry is this: if we perform like we did in that first half today against Man United, Ajax, Roma, or even Villarreal, it will be 8-0, 7-0, 6-0. It will, because those teams will put you to the sword and they'll make sure they win the game before it even gets started. So I want him gone now. I want a better manager to come in to win us the Europa League, whether it be Rafa Benitez, just someone who can have that manager bounce, because we all took the piss out of Lampard and then bringing in Tuchel. They could be in a Champions League final by the end of this season. The guy's been in for a few months. They've conceded 2 goals, one of them being an own goal in every single match that he's been there for. This is what I'm saying. If you get a better manager in at any time of the season, they can bring you forward. So I want him gone now. I want someone new being brought in, even if it's like a caretaker for a little bit. Hopefully they can win us the Europa League and then go and get Carlo Ancelotti or Simeone or Nagelsmann or anyone who can just have this guy in the summer. But for today's performance, I agree with Ray, a 3. The only thing he got right was starting Chambers and Odegaard. That was it. I think Pepe, Martinelli, they all came on too late. And overall, just not good enough. Yeah, we drew the game, but we were 3-0 down at one point. Let's not forget that. 3-0 down against West Ham. And no disrespect to West Ham, but it's West Ham. They were 16th last season. 16th. And we were losing 3-0. It's not good enough. 3 today, but
okay.
I could go on for hours about this guy, man. Seriously.
Okay, let me touch on your Mourinho point. So the team is saying just West Ham, they just beat you. The Mourinho you've answered you've just brought up. They beat Tottenham a couple of weeks ago. And you also say that Mourinho, you've mentioned Mourinho. Mourinho's 3-0 down the other day and they didn't score a goal as well. So you guys,
an example.
Let me finish, Ray. Let me finish. You guys are rating him according to the first 30 minutes. What happened in the next 60 minutes? They came back. Let me finish. I let you talk for 3 minutes. Let me finish. Arteta, yes, we were 3-0 down, but what happened after 3-0 down? The Arteta outers have brought in the Arteta inners. The Arteta outers, they wanted us to concede the 4th and 5th goal so that they can say, we told you so, as Rhea said. They want to say, we told you so. They are not happy that we came back from 3 behind because they wanted us to concede 5 and 6 so they could say, I told you so. When we went 3-0 down, I just made a point. I still believe that we could come back, not because we had Aubameyang and Lacazette on the pitch, because I believe Arteta's management, we never give up. That's what it has been. Like the last 13, 14 months, we've never gotten hammered like we used to. We always we've like five games this season or something this year. We've come back from behind. We've shown effort. We've missed chances. We should have won that game. Yes, Antonio had the clear-cut chance, and I think was it Sushek or something. But we should have had like 6 or 7 goals in that second half. Like Lacazette missed a chance, cleared off the line. First half, Saka missed a chance. So there was effort and energy after that, and that comes from the manager. Yes, I do agree with you in terms of the likes of a few youngsters. But as Lewis said in the chat, let me get the comment. I said as in now always passes the blame exactly right to the youth. Let me tell you something, Lewis. I know you like the likes of Nelson, but I don't think Nelson is good enough. I've never thought Niles is good enough as well. I've always thought Bellerin is a better player than Niles. I'm sorry, I don't think Niles is a good player like that, like the way people make him to be. I don't think Nelson is that good of a player. I don't think Nketiah is that good of a player. Martinelli just came from an injury. The season is not over. We are 10th right now, Guna Express. The season is not over. I still have my point. You can clip it. We'll still finish 6th and we'll still win the Europa League. Period. I'm going to give him a 6 for the comeback.
A rebuttal on the comeback. It had nothing to do with Arteta. Nothing to do with him. You could say the energy and the passion. The guy has. I have more energy in my left toe than Arteta. The guy gave up. You'll see his face and his facial expressions. He was finished. He was scared. He was worried. He had no idea what to do. The reason why we came back, 2 own goals. Let's not forget that. 2 very poor own goals as well. And Who got the assist for the third goal? Pepe, who should have been brought on 70 minutes earlier. His substitutions are pathetic. They're so poor. He as a manager's poor. And I say this about the youth as well. The thing with Martinelli, oh yeah, he's been injured, he's been unfit. No, he hasn't. Because Arteta literally said about a week ago that he has been fit, he hasn't been injured, and I chose not to play him. So he took the blame for that. And as well, about Maitland-Niles and Willock, no, they're not good enough to play for Arsenal. But the thing for me is, they were playing better under Unai Emery than they are playing under Arteta. And that's a fact. You go look at the stats, look at the eye test, go watch their old games. Emery was that good of a manager in terms of youth management that he was getting a lot of work and goals and all this stuff out of Willock, Maitland-Niles, even Nelson and Nketiah. Arteta can't do that because he's not a good enough manager to manage Arsenal. So I stick to my point. Emery wasn't good enough, but he's better than what Arteta is. And we can see that by him finishing 5th in his first season. And Arteta finished 8th and now 10th. So,
okay, I can always have a comeback for that as well. In the 50th minute, people are screaming for Martinelli. He's the one who brought in Pepe ahead of Martinelli. There, people will look at the negatives, but will never look at the
15 minutes
positives.
later.
No, but it worked. It worked.
Yeah,
That's the point. It worked.
If you brought him
at the end of the day.
No, but Glenn, what if you brought him on 20 minutes earlier and Pepe got
but we
another
were
assist
creating
and we won
chances
the game
either way.
4-3?
We were creating chances either way before that.
But we didn't take them, and this is the thing under Arteta. We can't take when under Unai Emery, Aubameyang, Lacazette, all these players were taking chances. We're not taking them under Arteta. There's a reason for that because his training methods are awful. He isn't showing them how to do their proper jobs. And we're worse under Arteta. We are. That's a fact. We're worse under Arteta. The players have got worse under Arteta. So how can you justify this guy being a good manager? We've got worse. We've regressed. His goal this season, in his contract, his goal was to get top 4. He is not going to get top 4. He isn't going to get top 4. So he's failed his contractual objective.
He's going to win the Europa League. We've never won a European
Can I break you two up for a minute?
Years.
Can I break you two up for a minute? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I think both points I fully understand. Okay, and it's a carousel right now, but I think one thing I do think Arteta put a rocket up their ass to get them back to playing and showing some kind of. Just let me talk. Yeah. Cool. So I think he put a rocket up their ass. Yeah. Got them to actually start playing and basically said, "You guys are just an absolute bunch of jokes. Start playing." Yeah. However, so in that aspect, Glenn, I agree with you. And that's what I thought anyway, that it's like rocket up their ass, go for the game, mate. Boom, just go for it, yeah? In regards to, for me, and I didn't want to do this because I said there's not an agenda, but this is where the conversation has gone now. The league table doesn't lie. I mean, we've been defeated 10 times, and we are not a squad who should have been defeated 10 times. Lucky, unlucky, whatever happened, a raccoon came in, all that kind of stuff. The reason we're only, 5 points up top 6 is because the league's so pants right now, isn't it? Only Man City are really, getting the wins in place, But at the end, we've lost 10 times. And Glenn, if he didn't win the FA Cup, I don't think he would have still had the job.
Yeah, I do agree with that. I've never.
So for me, I want us to win the Europa League. Even if we finish 12th, we win the Europa League. And if he keeps his job, I can't argue because he's won the Europa League. But what I want progression going forward. And that progression will be by buying the correct players. Listen, Tony's a decent player, but he's not going to win us a league. I feel if we get the type of players like Partey and somehow sneak him through, and hopefully by then Partey will actually start to show his ability, then we're going in the right direction. Right now, I think we're just hanging on to these cup competitions all the time, Glenn. Now, if we don't win the Europa League, let's just say we don't win it, we finish 8th or 9th, then what's your position then going to the new season? What's your opinion? Because I think mine is clear. Goon Express is damn clear, but I wanted to know what yours is.
So I always say that in the Premier League, we are 10th right now, but I've always said you're going to finish 6th even now. Before the Leeds game, I said between the Leeds game and the end of the season, we'll only lose 1 game. We still haven't lost since I said that against before Leeds game. I think we still haven't lost. sure we haven't lost still. So for me, I think in the league we'll still get 6th. But if we finish 8th, as you said, and we don't win the Europa League, I'd still not sack him because I still believe he's a good manager. I'm 100% sure he's still a good manager because I've given like 8-9 positives. The defensive work, as you said earlier on, good signings that have been injured, being unlucky the whole season, Partey and Gabriel having COVID and all that. I still think the signings are good. I still think he's the one who motivated them at halftime. Gun Express doesn't. I still feel like he's the one. Because where I don't like what how to say, we conceded 3 goals because of Arteta. But why, when you score the 3 goals, it's not because of Arteta. Why? When it's the negative, it's him. Because me, when you consider the 3 goals, I did not agree with Aubameyang playing to the right. I did not agree with this one starting, Chambers starting. I did not agree, so I blame that on Arteta. But when we end up scoring 3 goals, I still give Arteta the praise. So even if we finish 8th or 9th, but from our pressure, if they wouldn't have scored if we didn't attack. Ask them to attack. So if we finish 8th or 9th, they don't win the Europa League, I'm still keeping because I think he's a good manager, but we'll finish 6th and win the Europa League. Great. Thank you very much. I knew this was going to take hours. Jesus Christ. Thank you very much. If we were to have an out debate, we'd be here for 6-7 hours. 6-7 hours. But that's what YouTube is all about. I absolutely love Gun Express because we don't agree on Arteta, we agree on Luis, we don't agree on this. So thank you very much again, Gun Express, for coming on. Where can they follow you?
Just on YouTube, the Gooner Express, and then on Twitter at Gooner Express _. But my name on the video is my Twitter handle.
Yeah, and if you want to see more Arteta out debate, go and check him out. Ray, where can they follow you?
First of all, thanks for having me on, man. It's always entertaining. You can follow me at... for me, it is.
Jesus Christ. I've been protecting him for 7 months. You can just imagine how bad I want him to win that Europa League.
You can follow me on Twitter, Ray_Qureshi, YouTube, Ray_Qureshi, and also I'm part of the Wildcats. FPL Wildcats, search that on Twitter and YouTube.
Yeah, make sure you check them out. I had to put a stuck on screen for once. I'd say 60% happy we came back, but definitely I was so concerned about going into the international break after I defeated. I didn't want that, but I'm happy with the comeback. Some teams have lost today. Leicester beat United. I'm happy with that. I think Villa Tottenham. I think we are hoping for a draw. So yeah, a great debate. We drew 3-3 with West Ham. Very, very good game. Thank you to Ren, to Gun Express for coming on. I really appreciate it. Thank you for all the comments. Thank you for the super chat. RK, 2-week break. Next fixture is Liverpool at home. Tough fixture again. I'm hoping we win it. So thank you for watching. Keep staying safe, and I'll catch up with you guys later.